Welcome, my constant reader friends. I'm Tad, and this is Tad Reads Books and Stuff. Well, and now for something totally original. It's not original. Just a little bit different this week from my normal reading routine. I'm reading Apollo 8 right now. We've got Agency, William Gibson next. And, of course, the marvelous team-up will be doing Preacher as our next project, graphic novel project. But if you all celebrated, yesterday was 420, and it also was the 2024 Record Store Day. Now, I did a Record Store Day video last year, so I'm going to do one this year too. I was pretty lucky. I was able to go. I got up 3 o'clock in the morning. I got in line about a little after 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was already like 20th in line. There had been people there since Friday getting in line. Crazy. But anyways, Record Store Day 2024, sponsored by Dogfish Head Brewery. This is the poster for this year. Really cool. Probably pretty cool under black light. I'll have to get out my old black light and take a look at it. That's the poster for Record Store Day 2024, sponsored by Dogfish Head. And as you see, I have all my Dogfish Head paraphernalia on. I've got my hat, my shirt, my brewer's shirt. I'm a huge Dogfish Head Brewing fan. I've got a metal plaque on the wall over there. I've got some tap handles. Yeah, I even spent my 10th year wedding anniversary with my ex-wife at Rehoboth Beach, where the brewery is. Really cool brewery. They've got a little hotel, their own little hotel. They've got a brew pub that was awesome. And of course, we went and toured the factory and got to meet Sam and everything. They've got a steampunk treehouse in the front yard of the brewery. Really cool place, really cool people. Love the beer. And so I thought I'd wear everything. All right, shut up, Ted. Get going, because we know this is going to be a long one, right? Well, I was able to pick up 12 records. Now, only 6 of them were special record store release records. The other 6, they have music there, and they have giveaways and raffles, and, they had a tent with boxes of used records that you could buy for a good price. And as you know, I used to have a pretty sizable record collection that I lost in a flood, and I've been slowly trying to rebuy records that were in that collection to rebuild my collection, and also, of course, adding new records as they come out recently. So I was able to pick up 6 older records that I had lost, and I'm just going to show those off really quick and talk about them a little bit. The first one, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. This is Night Moves. Fantastic album. This is the 9th studio album by Bob Seger, and this was originally released in October of 1976. I don't know if you can see, I hope there's not any glare, but check out the hair on these dudes. Yeah, that's 1976. But one of my favorite Bob Seger albums, was able to pick that up this year during Record Store Day. All right, next, another one that I had lost. Iron Butterfly and Agata-da-Vida. Yeah, this was the 2nd studio album by Iron Butterfly, released originally in June of 1968. Now, here's some trivia. I didn't know this. I did a little research, and I found this out, and it kind of blew my mind. So when this album came out, it sold 8 million copies in its first year. At that time in history, it had outsold every record ever released in the history of recorded music. Iron Butterfly, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, at the time, highest selling record of all time. I never knew that. I think that's kind of cool. All right. Yeah, the song In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, everybody knows that. 17 minutes long, takes up the whole second side of the album. Next, The Who. Who's Next? So this was the 5th studio album by The Who, and it was released in August of 1971. Now, I looked up some information on this. This was originally supposed to be a concept album, and it was going by the title of Lifehouse. It was a follow-up to the concept album, Tommy. But they scrapped the idea and didn't ever really release that. But 9 of the songs on this album were going to be in that, concept album. Other songs were eventually released on other albums. So, anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. This, of course, has Baba O'Reilly. Great songs on this. Going Mobile, Going Mobile, woo-hoo. Behind Blue Eyes, and Won't Get Fooled Again. Awesome album. Glad to have it back in my collection. Next. Now, so I've told this story, I think, a couple times. The first ever live concert that I ever saw, I was only 9 years old. My parents didn't know I was there. I never talked about it. Cool story. I'm not going to bore you with the story. It'll take too long. But, yeah, I was 9 years old. My first live concert I ever saw was this band opening for Jethro Tull. I'm a huge Jethro Tull fan, and of course I'm a fan of this band. And I got 3 albums. Yep, it's Uriah Heep. So this one is Demons and Wizards, and this was their 4th studio album, originally released in May of 1972. Check out this old. They don't do album covers like this anymore. Nice little inside there with pictures of the band. Uriah Heep, Demon and Wizards. And then I also got Uriah Heep, The Magician's Birthday. I think I like this one even a little bit better than Demons and Wizards, I think. This was their 5th studio album, also released in 1972, November of 1972. This is not a gatefold, and oh yes it is. Holy crap. Yeah, check out that. Again, cool ass cover artwork. Inside, more pictures of the guys. Pretty cool. And then last but not least, one more Uriah Heep album. This is kind of cool. It's kind of weird. It opens at the top, and if you flip it over, the picture continues this way on the album. This is Fallen Angels, and Fallen Angels was the 12th studio album by Uriah Heep, and it was released in September of 1978. Cool thing about this record was after this record is when they kind of changed their sound. Originally, they were a really cool progressive rock, a prog rock band, but after this album, they went more, what do they call that, arena rock kind of music sound. So a little bit change after this album. I kind of prefer the progressive rock because that's the era that I first found them and loved them. All right, so that's the 6 that I got to replenish my record collection. And now we're going to go into the 6 Record Store Day releases that I got yesterday at Record Store Day 2024. Now, I thought that the list for this year's Record Store Day was much better than last year's. They had their standards that they always do. They release Doors live albums. There's always going to be like a Monkees album on there. There's going to be Beatles something. But this year, I looked at the list and I just kept checking, you know, the ones off that I wanted, and I just would have spent a lot of money, and I had to temper myself down and just set a dollar limit, and I stuck by it. I actually did a little bit better than, you know, what I had planned, but I only could get 6 records. Now my record store in here in Florida, it's in Ocala, Florida. It's called Vinyl Oasis. Really cool people, really cool store. But these record stores can't always just, you know, get everything that's on the list. There's tons of options, tons of music on the list. So they usually have a selection, and you get in line, they give you a number, and you can select, you know, what you want. You might get it, you might not get it, depending on where you are in line. That's why you might want to, you know, line up sooner. You may not get things. For instance, I'll talk about one of the ones I got that wasn't available for everybody, but they only had a certain selection. So there was a lot on that list that I just couldn't get that I wanted because my record store didn't even get any of them. But out of the ones that I got, they're definitely the ones I kind of really wanted to get. So I got lucky in that. And like I said, I was 20th in line, so I got everything that I wanted on my list. But let's just get started. All right, so first off, you all know, if you've watched my channel, one of my favorite bands, all these are my favorite bands. Let's be honest, right? All right, so stop saying it, Ted. No, I won't. I'm going to keep saying it. One of my favorite bands. I even had the concert poster over there. I went to and was able to see them live this year, and that was The Cure. Now, every year Record Store Day, The Cure releases, you know, re-releases an album, and they do it on picture disc. A lot of people can't stand it. They hate the picture disc. They say the sound quality isn't as good. I don't care. I love them. I just want to hear the music. And if that's how it's coming out that year, this is how I'm going to get it. So they come like this. It's pretty cool. It's got a cutout here so you can see the picture disc in there. Here's the back. Oh, and this is the top. So let's get that out of the way. Originally, the top was released in May of 1984, and this is a 40th anniversary. So it's a 40th anniversary release, Record Store Day exclusive. They pressed 10,000 copies of this. So comes like this. Look, you can see through the cutout. Is pretty cool. And the picture disc, let me take it out of here, looks like this. Really cool. I hope there isn't too much glare on there. Here's the back of it. Yeah, I love The Cure. The Top is a great album. And I've got it now in picture disc form. So that's the first one I want to show. Second one, this one's kind of cool too. It's Dio, another picture disc. This is The Last in Line. Now this album actually is the highest charting Dio album in both the United States and in Europe. So everyone who is a Dio fan knows this album, Last in Line. Really cool album, but this one is a picture disc, but it's even more than that. Here's the original. That's like a picture of the original cover, right? So this is not just a picture disc, but it's a zoetrope. Yeah. And this also is a 40th anniversary. So this was originally released in 1984 as well. This is an RSD exclusive. They printed 4,500 of these, and it's a zoetrope, meaning if you put a strobe light on this and play it, you'll see images like dancing on the record. So I had to get this one because it was a zoetrope. It's the first zoetrope I've ever owned. Pretty cool. I want to get the one, there's a Nightmare Before Christmas one. I want to find that one. That's pretty cool. Jack Skellington screaming, whatever. Anyway, so that's Dio. Yeah, it's a 40th anniversary Zoetrope exclusive 4,005. Anyways, I love Dio. I love me some Dio, so I had to get that. Next up, a lot of you guys might not ever have heard of this band. This is the Tragically Hip, and it's live January 14th, 1993 at CBGB's. I love this record. I'm so glad to get it. It's an RSD first. That means that they may eventually print this in more copies, but it's an RSD, so RSD Record Store Day has it first. And they only did 2,500 copies of this. Tragically Hip, I just want to give you some information if you don't know who the Tragically Hip are. They're not very popular in the United States. They're a Canadian band. Now, I'm from, my hometown is Watertown, New York, and we're right on the border of Canada. Kingston is really the closest town over. I used to play a lot of hockey in Kingston, Ontario. That's where this band was from. They formed, and I believe they formed in 1984 originally. But this band is awesome. First off, it's the only Canadian band ever to have 4 certified diamond albums. In America, that's the equivalent of platinum. So, the only Canadian band, yeah, not Bryan Adams, not Loverboy, not any of those other great Canadian bands. Tragically Hip, 4 certified diamond albums. Now, unfortunately, we lost Gord. Gord, the lead singer here for Tragically Hip, we lost him in 2017. It's kind of interesting because we did our Marvelous Team Up graphic novel. We were reading Murder Falcon, and the lead character in that, named Jake, is a heavy metal guitarist, and he died of brain cancer. And that's what happened to Gord. Gord passed away in 2017 from brain cancer. You should look him up if you've never heard Tragically Hip. Really, really amazing band. And they even did a documentary of their last tour. He was dying of brain cancer. He knew he was going to die. It was terminal. They did their final tour in 2017. There's a documentary. You probably find it on YouTube, I believe. Amazing band. Really, my band used to play some Tragically Hip tunes, but unfortunately not really well known in the lower United States. But really, check them out. So Tragically Hip, and live at CBGB's. Let me show you the record. The record is cool as hell. Well, first, I didn't know this was going to be in it. That's cool. Look at that. They gave me a mat for my turntable mat. Tragically Hip. That is sweet. I'm so happy. That's cool as hell. So that's probably going to go on my turntable. And let me just show you the record real quick. It's really cool. Look at this color. It's like a clear pink. Really cool. Really cool looking on the turntable. Someday I'm going to show a picture of my turntable. I kind of blinged it out. But yeah, Tragically Hip, CBGB's. Love that record. All right, next. This one is kind of cool. This is Meat Puppets. Another band probably a lot of you out there have never heard of. Kind of an indie, really popular with college radio stations, indie radio stations back in the day. It's a gatefold here, really nice. Weird drawings on the inside. Strange band, but Meat Puppets live in Montana. This was one of the records that I really, really liked. Pretty cool. They've got a couple, it's a double record. I'm going to show you here in a second. They've got a couple covers, Nirvana covers on here. They've got a Black Sabbath cover on here. The last song on there, they do the Star Wars theme. It's the Meat Puppets way. If you know the Meat Puppets, a little bit different people for sure. But this was, so let me get the numbers out of the way. It's a re-release, but it's the first time ever released on vinyl, which is really cool. It was recorded live in Montana in December 7th and 8th in 1988. It's a Record Store Day RSD first. They only did 1,000, well, they say 1,970 copies, but mine has, somebody is written in pen here on the back, number 250 of 2,000. So Record Store Day said they did 1970 and they're saying 2,000, but I got number 250 out of 2,000. The cool thing about this was Vinyl Oasis, the owner was telling me that he had gotten phone calls from 4 other record stores in Florida asking him if he got this record. And he got 2 of them. None of those other stores even got them. They only printed 2,000 of them. So he actually got 2 of them and I got 1 of them. So I'm super happy with this. Some of these records already, I've looked them up online, are already selling in the hundreds. This right here, this one Tragically Hip CBGBs, already selling for $100 on eBay. Already one was bought. But yeah, this is Meat Puppets. Really cool music. Indie rock. Maybe not everybody's cup of tea, for sure, but definitely one of my cups of tea. I'll tell you something. My girlfriend doesn't like more than half of the music I listen to. I have to oftentimes listen to some of these records when she's not around because she doesn't like it at all. But I love it, so I'm thrilled with it. Here is a, like I said, it's a double album. They're both the same color, but look at this blue. It's like a Superman blue or something. That's cool as hell. Love the Meat Puppets. Glad to have this live from Montana. Like I said, it's a double record. Both of them same color blue. Here, set you up here because you're gonna fall over if I don't set you up here. All right, let's move on. 2 more left. This one probably is my favorite record so far. I've played all of them so far, but this one is The Screaming Trees. Now, this is Strange Things Happening, and it's the Ellensburg demos from 1986 through 1988, and these are demos that were originally recorded on 4-track cassette tapes, and the bands kept all of them and put these together and made this record specific, especially for Record Store Day. So this is really cool. It's a RSD, Record Store Day first, and on Record Store Day website it says they made 3,500 copies, but mine also has in silver ink. Mine is number 64 out of 4,000. You won't be able to see that, but it says 4,000. So I got, wow, number 64 out of 4,000. That's pretty cool. Anyways, I'm a huge Screaming Trees fan. Yeah, saying that again. Cool thing about Screaming Trees is this is one of those, Ellensburg's in Washington, so it's one of those Seattle, Washington based grunge rock bands that became so popular. Of course, these are from the late 80s, but in the 90s, of course. I loved them. They only had 1 hit, but Dave Grohl says that this is his favorite band and should have been the band that made it big instead of Soundgarden and Nirvana and bands like that, Pearl Jam. So this guy, Mark Lanigan, is the lead singer. Look how young they are. Jesus Christ. To be young again. But he's gone on. He still makes records and puts them out under his name, Mark Lanigan. But he's one of those guys that plays with kind of like Dave Grohl. plays with everybody. Their buddies, Dave Grohl, Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age. He's contributed to Them Crooked Vultures, Queens of the Stone Age, and other bands like that. And so just well known. Another cool fact, Ellensburg, Washington is where Drew Bledsoe's from. If you're a Patriots fan, yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting. So anyways, let me show you the album, the record, I should say. This is a really cool color. Look at this. It's a really deep maroon. Really cool. I like that blue one and this maroon. I've played this and it's my favorite. It's my favorite Record Store Day find. Awesome, awesome. I love the Screaming Trees. If you don't know them, please look them up and check out Screaming Trees. All right, last but not least, we're down to the last one. Sorry this video took so long, but I didn't tell all the stories I could have told. Let me tell you. All right, I had to get this one. Again, one of my all-time favorite bands, another grunge rock band, and that's Pearl Jam. So this is Dark Matter, and this is the brand new release from Pearl Jam. There you go. Gatefold. Pretty cool. So this came out on Friday. You know, new records usually come out on Fridays. So this came out on Friday, but this one is a special Record Store Day release. It's a RSD exclusive. So it came out on the 20th, on Saturday. And let me show you what it looks like. The cool thing about it, comes with liner notes, but it also has a really cool book that comes with it. The inside, it's got all the lyrics, and smells great. It's really whoever, you know, the old days, smelling all the printing that you did in high school. Just really cool kind of artwork in here. But that's a nice little booklet that came with it. And then because it's the Record Store Day exclusive, let me show you this. Look at how this came out. Is that cool or what? It's funny, I showed it to my girlfriend and she said, wow, it looks like there's ghosts, you know, floating around in there. And it's funny because they call this Yellow and Black Ghostly Dark Matter. And it's really cool on the turntable. Yeah, that's the brand new Pearl Jam record. I've listened to it completely through twice now. Haven't made my mind up yet about it. I am liking it though. I don't know if I've said this before, whenever I get a new record, a new release, I give it 5 listens completely through before I make my decision if I like it or not. And this one I've only listened to twice, so I haven't made up my full mind, but I'm liking it. Actually, some of the songs that I'm liking better are the ones that they haven't released as singles. So I hope that doesn't dissuade people from like hearing one of the singles and saying, I'm not going to buy that record, because the record is turning out to be pretty good. All right, guys, that's it. That's my Record Store Day purchases. 12 records. I stayed within my budget. I'm happy. I wish I could have bought 100 more. There was a guy in front of me. He had a box. He spent over $1,000 on records, and I'm pretty sure that he's already selling these online. Like I said, there's another one, that CBGB's one, that Tragically Hip one's already selling for $100 online. The Screaming Trees one, that Meat Puppets one, already over $100 online. That's what a lot of people do. They go to Record Store Day, they buy records, they don't even care, they don't even probably have a turntable, and then they just resell them online immediately and make a profit. That's not what I do. So I love the music, I love the vinyl, I love the covers, everything about it. All right, guys, that's it. I hope you stuck around and watched the whole video. If you did, thank you very much. And as usual, please like, please subscribe, please write comments. And until next time, peace out.